So we're about ready to start our budgeting process in Vena. But as you can see, we don't have any actuals. We need to import those into Vena. But rather than doing it manually, we're going to do it using DataBlend at the touch of a button. And here I am in the DataBlend dashboard. But in fact, mostly you don't even need to do the touch of a button, because in real life, we mostly schedule this as often or as little as you need, along with any email notifications you want. Of course, if it fails, actually, it's quite nice sometimes to have an email in your inbox saying it succeeded and that the figures have been updated. That's all possible. The other thing that I can do is push the button. So here we're taking my consolidated actuals out of Fluence into Vena. I'm going to click on that button to run the workflow, and off we go. Now, the other thing we can do if we want is drop a file into secure FTP. We won't show that today, but the option is there. And so that's using DataBlend to load Vena. There's not really much point in looking at that in too much detail. What's a bit interesting is how simple it is in the back end. If I come into credentials, we set up our Vena credentials using API user and key. We get out of Vena. Similar process for any other system we might want to be importing from. Then we have our collectors, and our collectors say, what data are we going to pull? What fields from it are we going to pull? And that's a little bit different depending on the system. If I look at Fluence here, we're actually connecting directly to a database. It can be online or it can be on-premise. Or if we look at something like Blackline for the financial close, we're looking at a report. So we're leveraging the report capabilities on the other end. Or if I in fact just add in a new one, for a GL, say Sage Intacct, pointed at the right credential. Many systems are object-based in their API, and what that means is I can come into here, say I want to bring through from customers, and here are all the fields for me to pick and choose from. So we've got a set of data, then we go into our query. We look at the Fluence actuals through to Vena. This is a relatively simple query, right? We're selecting a set of fields from a particular collector where something, in this case blank. And if we come in here, we're doing some simple transforms to pull out, in this case, what we need as the month, which is a specific dimension in my Vena implementation, and the year separately from the date. But if I look at something else, say my Salesforce opportunities into NetSuite, there's a whole variety of things we can do. I look at this close date here. You see we're transforming with a pick and click from different date formats. There's a whole bunch of other things that we can do very, very quickly. So we change the data to what we need it to be for Vena, and then we point it at the Vena data target. And if I look at Vena actuals here, we're saying start with file, because what the API does is essentially does the same thing as if you manually upload it into Vena. Yeah. So in my case, we're loading it straight to the cube, but anything that you could do if you upload it manually, you can do with this. And then we have our workflow. And all a workflow is a combination of one or more of the things you've seen. In this case, I'm collecting my Fluence actuals, I'm sending it off to Vena, which we can then run at the touch of a button as you saw, or we can schedule it using a number of presets. The other thing that often comes in the workflows is data quality. So you can check in, hey, have I got the right fields? Is anything blank? That sort of thing. But we won't touch on that today. But as you saw, that workflow went very quick. So if we come back to my Vena reports and hit refresh, you can see my actuals have been loaded, and we can run that as often as we need.